Book of Jubilees, chapter 31. And on the new moon of the month Jacob spake to all the people of his house, saying, Purify yourselves and change your garments, and let us arise and go up to Bethel, where I vowed a vow to Elohim on the day when I fled from the face of Esau my brother. Because he has been with me and brought me into this land in peace, and put you away the strange mighty ones that are among you. And they gave up the strange mighty ones, and that which was in their ears, and which was on their necks, and the idols which Rachel stole from Laban her father she gave wholly to Jacob. And he burnt and brake them to pieces, and destroyed them, and hid them under an oak which is in the land of Shechem. And he went up on the new moon of the 7th month to Bethel. And he built an altar at the place where he had slept, and he set up a pillar there, and he sent word to his father Isaac to come to him to his sacrifice, and to his mother Rebekah. And Isaac said, Let my son Jacob come, and let me see him before I die. And Jacob went to his father Isaac, and to his mother Rebekah to the house of his father Abraham. And he took 2 of his sons with him, Levi and Judah, and he came to his father Isaac and to his mother Rebekah. And Rebekah came forth from the tower to the front of it to kiss Jacob and embrace him. For her spirit had revived when she heard, Behold, Jacob your son has come, and she kissed him. And she saw his 2 sons, and she recognized them, and said unto him, Are these your sons, my son? And she embraced them, and kissed them, and blessed them, saying, And you shall the seed of Abraham become illustrious, and you shall prove a blessing on the earth. And Jacob went in to Isaac his father, to the chamber where he lay, and his 2 sons were with him. And he took the hand of his father, and stooping down he kissed him. And Isaac clung to the neck of Jacob his son, and wept upon his neck. And the darkness left the eyes of Isaac, and he saw the 2 sons of Jacob, Levi and Judah. And he said, Are these your sons, my son? For they are like you. And he said unto him that they were truly his sons. And you have truly seen that they are truly my sons. And they came near to him, and he turned and kissed them, and embraced them both together. And the spirit of prophecy came down into his mouth, and he took Levi by his right hand and Judah by his left. And he turned to Levi first, and began to bless him first, and said unto him, May the Elohim of all, the very sovereign of all the ages, bless you and your children throughout all the ages. And may Yahuwah give to you and to your seed greatness and great splendor, and cause you and your seed from among all flesh to approach him to serve in his sanctuary, as the Malachim of the presence, and as the set apart ones. Even as they shall the seed of your sons be for splendor and greatness and set apartness, and may he make them great unto all the ages. And they shall be judges and princes and chiefs of all the seed of the sons of Jacob. They shall speak the word of Yahuwah in righteousness, and they shall judge all his judgments in righteousness. And they shall declare my ways to Jacob, and my paths to Yashar'al. The blessing of Yahuwah shall be given in their mouths to bless all the seed of the beloved. Your mother has called your name Levi, and justly has she called your name. You shall be joined to Yahuwah, and be the companion of all the sons of Jacob. Let his table be yours, and do you and your sons eat thereof, and may your table be full unto all generations, and your food fail not unto all the ages. And let all who hate you fall down before you, and let all your adversaries be rooted out and perish. And blessed be he that blesses you, and cursed be every nation that curses you. And to Judah he said, May Yahuwah give you strength and power to tread down all that hate you. A prince shall you be, you and one of your sons, over the sons of Jacob. May your name and the name of your sons go forth, and traverse every land and region. Then shall the Gentiles fear before your face, and all the nations shall quake, and all the people shall quake. In you shall be the help of Jacob, and in you be found the salvation of Yashar'al. And when you sit on the throne of honor of your righteousness, there shall be great peace for all the seed of the sons of the beloved. Blessed be he that bless you, and all that hate you and afflict you and curse you, shall be rooted out and destroyed from the earth, and be accursed. And turning he kissed him again, and embraced him, and rejoiced greatly. For he had seen the sons of Jacob his son in very truth. And he went forth from between his feet, and fell down, and bowed down to him, and he blessed them, and rested there with Isaac his father that night, and they eat and drank with joy. And he made the 2 sons of Jacob sleep, the one on his right hand and the other on his left, and it was counted to him for righteousness. And Jacob told his father everything during the night, how Yahuwah had shown him great mercy, and how he had prospered him in all his ways, and protected him from all evil. And Isaac blessed the Elohim of his father Abraham, who had not withdrawn his mercy and his righteousness from the sons of his servant Isaac. And in the morning Jacob told his father Isaac the vow which he had vowed to Yahuwah, and the vision which he had seen, and that he had built an altar, and that everything was ready for the sacrifice to be made before Yahuwah as he had vowed, and that he had come to set him on an donkey. And Isaac said unto Jacob his son, I am not able to go with you, for I am old, and not able to bear the way. Go, my son, in peace, for I am 165 years this day. I am no longer able to journey. Set your mother on an donkey and let her go with you. And I know, my son, that you have come on my account, and may this day be blessed on which you have seen me alive, and I also have seen you, my son. May you prosper and fulfill the vow which you have vowed, and put not off your vow, for you shall be called to account as touching the vow. Now therefore make haste to perform it, and may he be pleased who has made all things to whom you have vowed the vow. And he said to Rebekah, Go with Jacob your son. And Rebekah went with Jacob her son, and Deborah with her, and they came to Bethel. And Jacob remembered the prayer with which his father had blessed him and his 2 sons, Levi and Judah. And he rejoiced and blessed the Elohim of his fathers, Abraham and Isaac. And he said, Now I know that I have an eternal hope, and my sons also, before the Elohim of all. And thus is it ordained concerning the 2, and they record it as an eternal testimony unto them on the heavenly tablets how Isaac blessed them. Chapter 32. And he abode that night at Bethel, and Levi dreamed that they had ordained and made him the priest of the Most High Elohim, him and his sons forever. And he awoke from his sleep and blessed Yahuwah. And Jacob rose early in the morning on the 14th of this month, and he gave a tithe of all that came with him, both of men and cattle, both of gold and every vessel and garment, yea, he gave tithes of all. And in those days Rachel became pregnant with her son Benjamin. And Jacob counted his sons from him upwards, and Levi fell to the portion of Yahuwah, and his father clothed him in the garments of the priesthood, and filled his hands. And on the 15th of this month, he brought to the altar 14 oxen from amongst the cattle, and 28 rams, and 49 sheep, and 7 lambs, and 21 kids of the goats as a burnt offering on the altar of sacrifice, well pleasing for a sweet savor before Elohim. This was his offering, in consequence of the vow which he had vowed that he would give a tenth, with their fruit offerings and their drink offerings. And when the fire had consumed it, he burnt incense on the fire over the fire, and for a thank offering 2 oxen and 4 rams and 4 sheep, 4 he-goats, and 2 sheep of a year old, and 2 kids of the goats. And thus he did daily for 7 days. And he and all his sons and his men were eating this with joy there during 7 days, and blessing and thanking Yahuwah, who had delivered him out of all his tribulation, and had given him his vow. And he tithed all the clean animals, and made a burnt sacrifice, but the unclean animals he gave not to Levi his son, and he gave him all the souls of the men. And Levi served as priest in Bethel before Jacob his father in preference to his 10 brothers, and he was a priest there. And Jacob gave his vow, thus he tithed again the tithe to Yahuwah, and purified it, and it became set apart unto him. And for this reason it is ordained on the heavenly tablets as a law for the tithing again the tithe to eat before Yahuwah from year to year in the place where it is chosen that his name should dwell, and to this law there is no limit of days forever. This ordinance is written that it may be fulfilled from year to year in eating the second tithe before Yahuwah in the place where it has been chosen, and nothing shall remain over from it from this year to the year following. For in its year shall the seed be eaten till the days of the gathering of the seed of the year, and the wine till the days of the wine, and the oil till the days of its season. And all that is left thereof and becomes old, let it be regarded as polluted, let it be burnt with fire, for it is unclean. And thus let them eat it together in the sanctuary, and let them not suffer it to become old. And all the tithes of the oxen and sheep shall be set apart unto Yahuwah, and shall belong to his priests, which they will eat before him from year to year. For thus is it ordained, and engraven regarding the tithe, on the heavenly tablets. And on the following night, on the 22nd day of this month, Jacob resolved to build that place, and to surround the court with a wall, and to purify it, and make it set apart forever for himself and his children after him. And Yahuwah appeared to him by night and blessed him and said unto him, Your name shall not be called Jacob, but Yashar'al shall they name your name. And he said unto him again, I am Yahuwah who created the heavens and the earth, and I will increase you and multiply you exceedingly. And kings shall come forth from you, and they shall judge everywhere wherever the foot of the sons of men has trodden. And I will give to your seed all the earth which is under heaven, and they shall judge all the nations according to their desires, and after that they shall get possession of the whole earth and inherit it forever. And he finished speaking with him, and he went up from him. And Jacob looked till he had ascended into heaven. And he saw in a vision of the night, and behold, and Moloch descended from heaven with 7 tablets in his hands, and he gave them to Jacob. And he read them, and knew all that was written therein which would befall him and his sons throughout all the ages. And he showed him all that was written on the tablets, and said unto him, Do not build this place, and do not make it an eternal sanctuary, and do not dwell here, for this is not the place. Go to the house of Abraham your father, and dwell with Isaac, your father, until the day of the death of your father. For in Egypt you shall die in peace, and in this land you shall be buried with honor in the sepulchre of your fathers, with Abraham and Isaac. Fear not, for as you have seen and read it, thus shall it all be, and do you write down everything as you have seen and read. And Jacob said, Master, how can I remember all that I have read and seen? And he said unto him, I will bring all things to your remembrance. And he went up from him, and he awoke from his sleep, and he remembered everything which he had read and seen, and he wrote down all the words which he had read and seen. And he celebrated there yet another day, and he purified thereon according to all that he sacrificed on the former days, and called its name Addition, for this day was added, and the former days he called the feast. And thus it was manifested that it should be, and it is written on the heavenly tablets. Wherefore it was revealed to him that he should celebrate it, and add it to the 7 days of the feast. And its name was called Addition, because that it was recorded amongst the days of the feast days, according to the number of the days of the year. And in the night, on the 23rd of this month, Deborah Rebekah's nurse died, and they buried her beneath the city under the oak of the river, and he called the name of this place, the river of Deborah, and the oak of the mourning of Deborah. And Rebekah went and returned to her house to his father Isaac, and Jacob sent by her hand rams, and sheep and he-goats, that she should prepare a meal for his father such as he desired. And he went after his mother till he came to the land of Cabridon, and he dwelt there. And Rachel bare a son in the night, and called his name, Son of my sorrow, for she suffered in giving him birth. But his father called his name Benjamin, on the 11th of the 8th month, in the 1st of the 6th week of this Jubilee. And Rachel died there, and she was buried in the land of Ephrath, the same is Bethlehem, and Jacob built a pillar on the grave of Rachel, on the road above her grave. Chapter 33. And Jacob went and dwelt to the south of Magdaladrix. And he went to his father Isaac, he and Leah his wife, on the new moon of the 10th month. And Reuben saw Bilhah, Rachel's maid, a concubine of his father, bathing in water in a secret place, and he loved her. And he hid himself at night, and he entered the house of Bilhah at night, and he found her sleeping alone on a bed in her house. And he lay with her, and she awoke and saw, and behold, Reuben was lying with her in the bed, and she uncovered the border of her covering and seized him, and cried out, and discovered that it was Reuben. And she was ashamed because of him, and released her hand from him, and he fled. And she lamented because of this thing exceedingly, and did not tell it to anyone. And when Jacob returned and sought her, she said unto him, I am not clean for you, for I have been defiled as regards you. For Reuben has defiled me, and has lain with me in the night, and I was asleep, and did not discover until he uncovered my skirt, and slept with me. And Jacob was exceedingly wroth with Reuben, because he had lain with Bilhah, because he had uncovered his father's skirt. And Jacob did not approach her again, because Reuben had defiled her. And as for any man who uncovers his father's skirt, his deed is wicked exceedingly, for he is abominable before Yahuwah. For this reason it is written and ordained on the heavenly tablets that a man should not lie with his father's wife, and should not uncover his father's skirt, for this is unclean. They shall surely die together, the man who lies with his father's wife, and the woman also, for they have wrought uncleanness on the earth. And there shall be nothing unclean before our Elohim in the nation which he has chosen for himself as a possession. And again, it is written a second time, Cursed be he who lies with the wife of his father, for he have uncovered his father's shame. And all the set-apart ones of Yahuwah said, So be it. So be it. And do you, Moses, command the children of Yashar'al that they observe this word. For it entails a punishment of death, and it is unclean, and there is no atonement forever to atone for the man who has committed this. But he is to be put to death and slain, and stoned with stones, and rooted out from the midst of the people of our Elohim. For to no man who does so in Yashar'al is it permitted to remain alive a single day on the earth, for he is abominable and unclean. And let them not say to Reuben was granted life and forgiveness after he had lain with his father's concubine, and to her also though she had a husband, and her husband Jacob, his father, was still alive. For until that time there had not been revealed the ordinance, and judgment, and law in its completeness for all. But in your days it has been revealed as a law of seasons and of days, and an everlasting law for the everlasting generations. And for this law there is no consummation of days, and no atonement for it, but they must both be rooted out in the midst of the nation. On the day whereon they committed it they shall slay them. And do you, Moses, write it down for Yashar'al that they may observe it and do according to these words and not commit a sin unto death, for Yahuwah our Elohim is judge, who respects not persons and accepts not gifts. And tell them these words of the covenant, that they may hear and observe, and be on their guard with respect to them, and not be destroyed and rooted out of the land. For an uncleanness, and an abomination, and a contamination, and a pollution are all they who committed on the earth before our Elohim. And there is no greater sin than the fornication which they commit on earth, for Yashar'al is a set-apart nation unto Yahuwah its Elohim, and a nation of inheritance, and a priestly and royal nation, and for his own possession. And there shall no such uncleanness appear in the midst of the set-apart nation. And in the 3rd year of this 6th week Jacob and all his sons went and dwelt in the house of Abraham near Isaac his father, and Rebekah his mother. And these were the names of the sons of Jacob, the firstborn Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, the sons of Leah. And the sons of Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. And the sons of Bilhah, Dan and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Gad and Asher, and Dinah, the daughter of Leah, the only daughter of Jacob. And they came and bowed themselves to Isaac and Rebekah, and when they saw them they blessed Jacob and all his sons. And Isaac rejoiced exceedingly, for he saw the sons of Jacob his younger son, and he blessed them.